Hi, gang, it's Adam.
And Patrick.
Coming up on today's episode, we open some Tweedle-D mail all the way from Shanghai Disney Resort and announce our next giveaway. We cover the latest Disney news and interview former cast member and friend to Snow White, Belle and Rapunzel, Kristen Podbelski, about her experiences working in Walt Disney World. As always, we close out the show with some quick D. All that and more on today's episode of Gays Do the D.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Patrick, Jackie Joyner Kersey Kazuki.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. I'm actually speechless about that one.
Do you remember Jackie Joyner Kersey?
I sure do.
That's going to be you in a couple of days.
Oh, yeah, I'm that quick.
Okay, now give me my middle name.
Adam Candelabra Hummel.
I love it.
Thank you so much.
Very dramatic.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're in your apartment.
We are, so if things sound different, that's why.
Yeah, but I was noticing the candle lights around me, and it just came to me.
I like to create a mood. Mm-hmm. I'm basically trying to seduce you with all the candles.
It's very off-putting. Yeah, the mood. If you're going for disturbing and cry for help,
yeah,
that's what you're going for.
Mission accomplished.
Did it? You did it. Knocked it out of the park, my friend.
All right, Patrick. Let's talk about this for real now. You are heading to Walt Disney World.
I am
tomorrow.
I am.
Yes.
This is weird. This is like one of those podcasting moments in my head that it makes me cry because my nose is bleeding and I don't understand. Because by the time this episode airs, I'll have run the half marathon. I will be on a plane back to Minneapolis.
Oh my gosh.
As though nothing has happened.
It's a podcast time warp.
It is Halloween after all, so we can do the podcast time warp.
We're recording on Halloween.
We are.
How are you feeling about the run? Are you excited? Are you nervous? Give me all of your thoughts and feelings and emotions.
I'm feeling good about it. I haven't trained as much as I wanted to for this half marathon, but I feel fine. I've done it before. I know what to expect. I know what I'm in for. I think it'll be just fine. Is that not the answer you're looking for?
I like how matter-of-fact it was. Because you're a pro now. You've done this several times,
That is
Patrick.
certainly not the truth. I'm not a pro. I am just doing what I'm doing. In fact, actually, today I just published my second post for the blog where I talk about training for Run Disney Half Marathon.
I can't wait to read it.
I'm offended that you haven't read it yet, but it does ring true for our friendship.
Where can people find that post, Patrick?
Thank you so much for asking. You can actually go to the Gays Do the D website, gaysdothed.com, and there is a link to it there, or you can find it directly at patrickrunsdisney.com.
Be sure you add that disney.com on there because Patrick Runs is a completely different site.
You don't want to see that.
No. Some might.
Don't watch with the kids on that site.
Yeah.
How was your week, Adam?
It's fantastic.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm basically just prepping for the launch of Disney Plus. So I spent a lot of quality time on the couch.
Good.
Because that's a training. You need to train the tush and the legs to get used to sitting for extensive periods of time.
It's taxing.
And I've been eating.
Good.
That's also a training. So I'm ready. I feel ready.
I see you've been sewing your Halloween costume. You're going as a scantily clad Maleficent.
Yep.
You're putting the male in Maleficent.
That's right. Sexy Maleficent. What do you think?
I like not looking at it.
Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. And your costume, Patrick, really wowed me. When I opened the door, I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot.
Gender bend Tarzan.
Wow.
It's weird that you put on a bodysuit of a woman, but then decided to be Tarzan. But I'm into it. I like it.
Thank you so much. It's weird that you don't know your Disney characters. I'm actually wearing a Buzz Lightyear sweatshirt right now.
Oh, that's what it is.
I'm Buzz Lightqueer.
Oh.
just looking for Woody.
Okay.
You know what?
Wow.
What?
Wow.
They're both characters.
You're right.
Okay.
You're absolutely right.
We should move on.
Well, speaking of Halloween costumes, Patrick, we need to thank everyone out there who sent us photos of their fabulous Disney Halloween costumes.
Absolutely. They were amazing.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. We loved seeing them.
Especially the dog photos.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. Tweedle-Dees out there, send us your dog photos, especially if they're in Disney costumes.
Yeah, we need to see those.
Nothing makes my day more than dogs in Disney costumes. It's the best.
It's true. Mm-hmm. It's true.
Speaking of costumes, Adam, it was just Dapper Day in Disneyland.
Dapper Day in Disneyland, you say?
I do say. Dapper Day, eh?
Yes, Dapper Day in Disneyland.
Such a fun event. I love that they do that. They do it in Disney World as well, don't they?
They do, yeah.
Okay. If you were in Disneyland for Dapper Day, send us your photos.
And if you had a Dapper Day dog on hand, we want to see that Dapper Day dog in a Disney costume.
Delightful.
It's true, though. I do love that look, that retro style look.
Yes, that Main Street barbershop kind of a situation.
Although I have to say, I cannot believe some of the shoe choices the women are making.
Oh, boy.
For walking around a park. I understand they're completely on brand and on theme for Dapper Day, and they look amazing.
Yeah.
But I cannot imagine walking around a park in those heels.
No, that's going to get caught in a track at some point.
Yes, it is. It is.
Danger. Dapper Day, danger.
Well, Patrick, we have a brand new listener we need to say hello to.
We have 5 listeners now?
We have 5 whole listeners.
Amazing.
Number 5 is Justin. You can find Justin on Instagram at jmcarth1, and you can find him on Twitter at jmcarth. And Justin was one of our listeners who sent in a Halloween costume photo, and it was him and his partner and their animals, and they had done a complete Haunted Mansion look.
Oh, right.
And it was incredible.
It was incredible.
Yeah, so thank you, Justin, for sending that in, and welcome to Gays Do the D.
Welcome, new Tweedle-D Justin. We also got a really heartwarming Instagram message, Adam, from a Tweedle-D Chris who goes by polychrome_pen. Chris wrote into us saying, "Hello, boys. I live in Sonoma County, California, and was evacuated today due to the Kincaid fire. I was driving away from my home down a crowded freeway and feeling depressed. Did I mention I worked the night shift and had just gotten off? To distract myself, I put on one of your podcasts. I laughed, I smiled, and for an hour I was able to find my laughing place again in what could have been a very dark moment. Thank you for that gift. XOXO, keep up your great pixie-dusted work."
Thank you so much for that message, Chris. And all we can say is that our hearts go out to you and everyone in California affected by the fires.
Absolutely. We are thinking of you. Such a tragic experience I can't imagine. And we are so blessed that you could find your laughing place again and that we could help you on that journey. So thank you for listening, and please keep us posted on how you are.
We also heard from listener Dana, who you can find on Instagram at Dana Marie G. And she said, "I'd love to hear an episode about the history of Club 33 or the Enchanted Tiki Room."
Interesting.
She was referring to last week's episode where we did a history of some of the Imagineers behind the Haunted Mansion. And I think Dana's got a point. It'd be fun to create a segment where we focus on one attraction and kind of give a history behind that attraction.
So Tweedledees, you have a responsibility to get us into Club 33 so we can do some extensive homework.
That's right. We need to do that research.
And I said it's a responsibility. It's not an option.
That's right.
Or a choice.
That's right.
You need to do it for us. That is what I want for Halloween.
Oh, it's your Halloween wish.
Trick or treat.
I think most people will respond with trick.
Because my name is Patrick?
Yeah, because they're not getting us into Club 33.
You don't know?
That's true.
You never know unless you ask.
But would that be a treat or would that be a treat?
It would be a treat, Adam.
It would. It would be a treat.
You got it correct. Moving on, Jason, who's on Instagram at Jason Does Nerdy Stuff, writes to us and says, "Let's chat about candy corn." I don't like where this is going, Jason. I am not a huge fan of it either for all the reasons you guys mentioned. Generally too sweet, and if I'm going to eat candy, I kind of want chocolate. Yeah, me too, Jason. But there's always a but, right? There is mermaid-shaped fruity candy corn out there. It's a really interesting mix of flavors. Seek it out, and I want to know what you guys think about it.
It sounds like the gayest candy corn that could ever be. Mermaid-shaped and fruity.
Kind of like me, I guess. It's really describing me, don't you think?
I would say you're more manatee-shaped than mermaid-shaped.
Okay, we're moving on. You're very rude today, Adam.
Sassy. Welcome to my house.
Oh,
Patrick.
no, that's what happened. I'm not in my element anymore.
No, I'm just kidding.
I had to wear clothes. I'm just not feeling it.
Patrick, you have a lovely figure.
Thank you so much. Moving on, Jason says, let's also chat about Brother Bear. Sit down and watch the movie. It's gorgeous to watch, and the music is by Mark Mancina, Tarzan and Moana, among others, and songs by some people named Phil Collins and the one and only Tina Turner.
Wow, I didn't know Tina had a song in there.
Tina Turner.
Tina Turner.
Jason goes on to say, Jason has a lot to say.
He does.
Let's further chat about Pete's Dragon. Original recipe. Best song in the entire movie is There's Room for Everyone. It's schmaltzy and cheesy, but dang it, totally describes the world we live in today perfectly. Good point. I forgot about that song.
Yes.
Last but not least, Jason says, I've got more, but, a guy has to work to pay for his upcoming sparkly and new AP. I'm assuming that means annual pass. If it doesn't, please don't tell me. Not to mention being in a park once a month next year. Thanks for being in my ears every Monday morning. It's a great way to start the week.
Thank you for listening, Jason, and thank you for contributing to the conversation.
I also want to know about this goal of being in the parks once a month for the whole year. How do I get in on that?
Stalk Jason.
I'm doing that already. It's
Okay.
not working out so well.
Last but not least, Patrick, we received some magic mail.
What?
From listener Derek, who you can find on Instagram at Derek_Sitch. And he has a new Instagram account called Boy Who Has Everything.
Oh, I love that.
Yes. So we got this envelope in the mail.
Some D-mail from Derek. Is it Dapper Day D-mail from Derek? Can you all hear the crinkling? It sounds like presents.
Okay, I just peeked in the bag, and all I saw were some foreign characters. So this is something from a foreign park, I'm guessing. But first, let me read this card, which Derek sent. It's from the Toy Story Hotel.
Oh, wow.
And it says, hey, boys, I just got back from Shanghai Disney. So thought I'd share a few things from the Toy Story Hotel where I stayed, as well as a little something for you each. I hope you get over to the park soon. It's not the biggest, but its newness shows. Everything is shiny and fresh. The tech is top-notch. Tron and Pirates. Oh, yeah, that Pirates at Shanghai. Oh, I need to ride that. And the local culture incorporated is really special. Enjoy, and thank you for your effort on the podcast. It's always a highlight of my week. XOXO Derek.
Oh, and that postcard is beautiful.
It really is. It is a concept sketch, I would guess, of the Toy Story Hotel. Amazing. All right, I'm opening the bag.
Okay. What's in the bag? Derek, what have you done?
So inside the bag was another bag. It's a beautiful Toy Story bag. It is the iconic Toy Story clouds, and it features the logo for the Toy Story Hotel, Derek. That is beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's a little tote bag.
Yep.
Oh, I love it.
We're going to fight over that.
Mm-hmm.
Derek also sent a Shanghai Disneyland guide map.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
And it's all tricked out for their Halloween season, which looks incredible.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of rude. Derek also sent a Shanghai Disney Resort annual pass brochure. What are you saying, Derek?
Yeah, that's really rude.
What are you saying?
That is really cool, though.
It really is. Oh my gosh. And there are the cutest tiny Toy Story Hotel
love them.
notepads with the iconic Toy Story wallpaper clouds on them.
Derek, you clearly stole those from the hotel.
We also got a Toy Story Hotel room key card.
Uh-oh. Well, that's really cool. It's got Buzz Lightyear on it.
Yeah.
He looks like me today.
He does. Buzz Lightyear. And last but not least.
Oh, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to lose my mind.
Derek sent each of us a mystery bag.
They're pins, aren't they?
I think so.
They look like a pin bag.
Oh, yeah, they are pins. And it looks like they're attractions. So we could possibly get a pin featuring one of the attractions at Shanghai Disney Resort. So, Patrick.
The bags are really beautiful.
They really are.
Derek, you know the way to my heart because I love a mystery bag and I love pins.
All right, so Patrick, we're going to open these simultaneously.
Oh, they're heavy too. They got
are
some
heavy.
weight to them.
They are. Patrick has clearly opened a mystery bag before because I'm struggling and he's got it.
I know my way around a sack.
Okay.
What?
Inappropriate. Oh, there's a couple in here, aren't there? I'm feeling a couple.
So there are 15 you can get, and I believe
3?
this is the bag that has 3 each.
Okay, don't be jealous. I got Treasure Cove.
Oh, it's really beautiful.
It really is beautiful.
These are amazing, and this is so special because you can't get these anywhere else other than Shanghai.
I have a beautiful, beautiful pin featuring the Fantasyland logo.
Oh, that is beautiful. I got the Gardens of Imagination.
That's really beautiful, too.
These are really cool. I am super impressed by these pins, and they're pretty big and heavy.
BTW, there's 4 in each bag because there's another. I'm feeling 2 more in here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I got Toy Story Land.
Oh, I like that one. I might have to fight you for it.
We're going to have to post these on social media so people can see.
Oh, I think I win. I've got the full-on Shanghai Disney Resort pin.
Okay, that is iconic.
It's got the castle in the background.
Patrick, there's 5 in here.
There are 5. Whoa.
I got the classic Tomorrowland sign.
I also just got the Tomorrowland sign. Twinsies.
My boyfriend Matthew's been hiding in the bedroom while we've been recording, and he just came out to see us opening these pins, and he is jealous.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I got Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, that one might be my favorite one.
It's really great.
Okay, I got Toy Story.
Oh, yes.
Yay. Okay, last but not least.
Yes.
Ooh, I got Soarin' Over the Horizon.
Oh, yes.
It's really beautiful.
That really is.
You have really outdone yourself, Derek. This is incredible. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Derek. We sincerely appreciate it. And we will post a picture of all of these pins to social media so that all of our Tweedle-Dees can see what Derek sent us.
It's so beautiful. Thank you so much. We have the best Tweedle-Dees in the world, don't you think?
We really, really do.
We don't deserve this, but if you want to send more pins from Shanghai, you know where to do so. Moving on, Adam, I'm still on a little bit of a Shanghai, if you will, right now from these pins. But we've got some anniversaries to talk about.
Fantastic.
We've got 4. We'll start with the youngest, as per usual. Turning 5 on November 7th from 2014, we have Big Hero 6.
Oh, I love Big Hero 6.
Such a great movie.
Oh, I can't talk about the ending. I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it.
Then we should move on, I guess.
Baymax. Oh, I love you, Baymax.
I'm not satisfied with my care.
Oh.
It's so good. It's so
All right,
good.
Yep.
Okay, jumping up a little bit in time,
Yes.
turning 14 years old, released on November 4th, 2005. I've not seen this movie, but everyone said it's really cute. Chicken Little.
Oh, I've not seen Chicken Little either.
We should watch that.
Yeah, I would love to check out Chicken Little.
Let's do a take 1 from Days of Yore.
Sounds great.
Okay. 1 year older, turning 15. This one boggles my mind that it's 15 years already. November 5th, 2004, The Incredibles.
Oh my gosh.
15 years old.
Yeah.
That feels like it was released like 5 years ago, maybe.
What an amazing movie.
Oh, it's so good. It still holds up 15 years later.
And the sequel is fantastic as well.
Just as good, if not slightly better, I would say.
I really like the sequel, yeah.
Now, jumping way up in time, we're talking 46 years old.
Wow.
November 8th, 1973, Robin Hood.
Oh, one of your faves. Yeah, one of your crushes.
That hot fox.
Yeah.
That's a hot fox trot right there. I'd like to snuggle up with. Is that weird?
I don't think so.
I'm okay with it.
I'm going to allow it.
As long as I'm okay with it.
That's right. I would never yuck your yum.
Thank you so much.
And
Thank
your
you.
yum is that fox.
That fox, though.
Yeah.
So happy anniversaries, Chicken Little, The Incredibles, Big Hero 6, and Robin Hood.
We'd just like to take this opportunity to remind all of our Tweedledees out there that The Little Mermaid Live will be airing this Tuesday, November 5th at 8 o'clock, 7 Central on ABC.
I'm excited.
Patrick, are you planning on watching it?
I don't know if I'll be able to watch it live because I'll have rehearsal that night,
Oh, sure.
but I will watch it for sure. What about you?
Absolutely. I have to see how they're going to do it. And also, I'm really excited to hear the musical numbers performed live.
Are you hoping for an underwater train wreck?
I'm hoping to be entertained regardless, Patrick. Is that the nice way of saying it?
Yeah, it is.
And we would love to know your thoughts on The Little Mermaid Live.
Mm-hmm.
Because we'll be talking about it on next week's episode.
Extensively, I imagine.
Extensively. So do please send us your thoughts. You can do so by reaching out to us on social media at GDTD Podcast.
And you can email us or send us your voice memos to info@gaysdothed.com. Before we go into the news, Adam, we have some exciting news for our Tweedledees out there. Of course, we're heading into November, which is Thanksgiving month.
That's right.
So we thought we would celebrate Thanksgiving Gays Do the D style with a little ThanksGAYving.
ThanksGAYving.
So for every episode during the month of ThanksGAYving, we're doing some Thanksgiveaways.
I'm thankful for our giveaways. And Thanksgiving during Thanksgiving month.
I can't track this anymore. My head is in Tomorrowland, frankly. So to add another little twist to our ThanksGAYving Thanksgiveaways, another little film is coming out in November. Care to guess what it is, Adam?
Frozen 2.
Ding, 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 ding. Frozen 2 is opening at the end of November. So we thought we would theme every ThanksGAYving Thanksgiveaway after Frozen 2.
So our very first Frozen 2 ThanksGAYving Thanksgiveaway.
I love saying that.
is the book Conceal, Don't Feel, A Twisted Tale by Jen Kalanita. And the book asks the question, Patrick, what if Anna and Elsa never knew each other?
Oh, my goodness.
I'm not going to tell you how it ends, mostly because I haven't read it yet.
Oh, okay.
But our first giveaway is the book. And you may be asking yourself, how do I win the book?
Self, how do I win that book?
Let me tell you, Patrick.
Oh, okay.
The first thing you have to do is visit our Instagram at GDTD Podcast, and you have to make sure that you're following us there.
I am following us there.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Under the post featuring the image of the book, tag 3 of your Disney-loving friends, and you're entered to win.
So I've only got 2 friends, so I can't enter.
You can't enter because you're the host of this podcast and you're not allowed to win prizes.
I'm not following anymore.
Oh, Patrick. To receive an extra entry, repost our post or add it to your stories and tag us at GDTD Podcast. We will be accepting entries until 6 o'clock p.m. on Friday, November 8th. The winner will be contacted via DM on Instagram shortly after that and announced on our Monday, November 11th episode.
And when Adam says 6 p.m., he means 6 p.m. If you try to enter at 6:01, don't do it. You don't want to see that wrath. You don't want to see it.
I will cut it off at 6 p.m.
He will cut you at 6 p.m. Yeah, I've seen it happen. It's not.
That's 6
it's not
p.m.
pretty.
Central Time, just to be clear. 6 p.m. Central.
That's good. That's good to know.
So stop on by our Instagram feed and enter that giveaway.
Adam, do you know what I think would happen if Anna and Elsa had never met?
What's that?
They'd become newscasters and talk about Disney news next.
That is obscure.
Yeah. So what do you say we pretend we're Anna and Elsa who have never met and talk about the news?
I say let's do it.
It'll be called Unseal, Please Feel. Actually, that's my memoir. That's the title of my memoir.
Please feel. Patrick, you know I love talking about Star Wars news.
Adam, you love talking about anything, but Star Wars specifically.
But I just can't talk about the menu name changes one more time in Galaxy's Edge. I can't do it.
I don't want you to ever again.
Thank you. So I'm moving on.
Good.
And instead, I've chosen to talk about the films of the Star Wars universe.
Okay.
And specifically what's not going to happen.
Interesting.
Game of Thrones creators David Benioff and D.B. Weiss will no longer be creating a cinematic Star Wars trilogy.
Oh, no.
The Hollywood Reporter was the first to report the news in an October 28th, 2019 article that the pair has exited the franchise 18 months after Disney and Lucasfilm first announced the projects they were set to write and produce. Benioff and Weiss released a statement noting, "We love Star Wars. When George Lucas built it, he built us, too. Getting to talk about Star Wars with him and the current Star Wars team was the thrill of a lifetime, and we will always be indebted to the saga that changed everything. But there are only so many hours in the day, and we felt that we could not do justice to both Star Wars and our Netflix projects. So we are regretfully stepping away." And the Netflix projects they're referring to, Patrick, are part of a deal that they signed, a 5-year deal for $250 million.
That's all?
That's all. Chump change.
Okay.
They signed that deal in August, which coincidentally was after they were in negotiations with Lucasfilm to create a new trilogy for them.
I see you guys. I see you. I see what you're doing.
Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy stated, "David Benioff and Dan Weiss are incredible storytellers. We hope to include them in the journey forward when they are able to step away from their busy schedule to focus on Star Wars." The first film in their trilogy was going to be released on December 16th, 2022, and would have been the first Star Wars film after this year's Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
Can you imagine restarting Star Wars?
Completely new story for Star Wars. It would have been incredible. But now, who's going to fill that gap?
I think it's us, Adam. I think it's us. Yeah. After my description of Hocus Pocus 2,
Sure.
I think they're looking. They're looking at us.
It's you and me. An October 30th, 2019 Variety article relays that Benioff and Weiss wanted to take the franchise in a, quote, new direction by, quote, exploring how the Jedi came to exist. So they were going to take it all the way back to like the first Jedi.
Sure.
But I also read that Lucasfilm wasn't too into that idea. So that may have been part of the reason for their departure.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I feel like I'm ready for a whole new story at this point. If there's going to be a prequel, put it on Disney+.
We previously reported here on GDTD that Marvel Studios chief Kevin Feige is developing a standalone Star Wars film. Perhaps his involvement will become more encompassing now that Benioff and Weiss have departed the Star Wars universe. And it should also be noted that The Last Jedi director Rian Johnson is working on a series of Star Wars films for Disney and Lucasfilm. So maybe Rian Johnson's series will step into that 2022 slot.
The plot thickens.
Regardless, I'm certain that the robot we created in last week's episode is going to make it into the film.
Now, will that robot be serving a tip-yip chicken salad or just a tip-yip salad? I don't know.
How dare you? We are done talking about that.
Last month, Adam, we reported that the planned Muppets revival for Disney Plus would no longer be happening. However, the Jim Henson Company has gotten a straight-to-series order for a new puppet show called Earth to Ned. Notice, Adam, I said puppet show, not Muppet show. Apparently, this new show will have nothing to do with the Muppets beyond it being created by the Jim Henson Company. Earth to Ned will be a comedic half-hour talk show hosted by an alien, Ned, and his lieutenant, Cornelius, where they interview celebrity guests. Ned and Cornelius were sent to Earth for an invasion but became obsessed with pop culture. They now host a talk show from their ship where they interview Earth's most precious commodity, celebrities.
I love this concept.
Yeah, me too.
I really hope it works out because it could be hysterically funny.
It sounds like they're gunning for this to be like the next big hit from the Jim Henson Company.
It's giving me shades of classic Muppet Show because that was kind of adult at times, you know? And
Exactly.
so I'm hoping this kind of follows that same suit.
Exactly. So the series will be produced by the Jim Henson Company and Marwar Junction Productions with Jim Henson Company Chairman Brian Henson, Jim Henson's son, and Head of Development and Production Vince Riza as executive producers alongside Marwar's Joseph Freed and Allison Berkeley. No celebrity names have been dropped yet as guest stars, and no official release date has been set for the series. Disney Plus, however, does launch on November 12th.
I've got some guest celebrities to pitch.
Tell me about them.
Us.
I like it.
Us and Chris Hemsworth.
Interesting.
Wait,
Interesting.
me and Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, you took a turn there.
Yeah, you're not needed
like
anymore.
it.
I'm fine with just me and Chris Hemsworth.
This feels right. This just feels right to me. I knew it was going to happen.
Good news for Disnerds who were fans of this year's Disney Villains After Hours events or those who didn't get the chance to attend. The popular event will be returning to Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom in 2020 on 24 select nights from February 7th through July 10th with the addition of 14 nights to choose from.
Wow.
Disney Villains After Hours features Villains Unite the Night stage show, the steampunk Maleficent the Dragon from Festival of Fantasy Parade, breathing fire and creeping through the park at night, a DJ at the Cinderella Castle forecourt stage, villain-inspired additions to Pirates of the Caribbean and Space Mountain, specialty food and beverage, exclusive merchandise as well as items from a curated collection of the best Disney villains merchandise, and low wait times at more than 25 attractions and experiences after the park closes to day guests.
I like that.
Maybe one of your trips will coincide with this, Patrick.
I'm hoping so. I really want to see this. You know, our friend Becca over at Disney Kitty on YouTube and Instagram got to go this year, and she was mentioning that the steampunk Maleficent dragon sort of free walking down Main Street was one of the coolest things she's seen and almost worth the price of admission alone.
A lot of people have commented that they're very excited for the return of Disney Villains After Hours, but their one wish, the one improvement that they think could be made would be villain meet and greets.
Yeah.
They feel like that's the one element that's missing from this very special ticketed event.
I get it, and I want that as well, but I'm wondering if this is how they're sort of trying to differentiate this with Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
Right.
But I'm with you. I want to meet those rare villain characters.
Tickets for Disney Villains After Hours are limited and are $145 plus tax in advance or $155 plus tax on the event night. Annual pass holder and Disney Vacation Club members can take advantage of a $30 discount. Event tickets allow entry as early as 7 p.m. Select complimentary snacks and beverages are included in the cost of admission. For more information on Disney Villains After Hours and to purchase tickets, visit disneyworld.com/villains after hours or call the Disney Reservation Center at 407-939-2742.
Here's what I'll say. I do want to do this party, But that ticket price, man, that's a really steep ticket price, even for Disney.
It is.
Especially if you only get to enter the park at 7 p.m.
Right.
I want to ride the dragon for that much money. You know what I'm saying? This past October 28th marked the 20th anniversary of The Lion King in London's West End, and recent box office numbers from both the stage show and the movies prove that it no longer has to wait to be king.
Oh, Patrick.
What?
Did you just say that?
It took me a week to think of that line.
Do you know what they call the Lion King in the West End?
Tell me.
The Lion King.
Wow. Offensive. Offensive. So Disney has confirmed that the current cumulative box office for the stage version, which includes both London and New York City, is $9.1 billion with a B. Now, if you add in the movies, you will get a grand total of $11.6 billion, which officially makes The Lion King the top-earning box office franchise in history. And something to consider is that this total does not include income from the TV shows, merchandise, video games, DVDs, VHS, Blu-ray, or soundtracks. What's a VHS, you might ask? Well, kids.
I've never heard of a VHS.
No, that number is mind-boggling.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. So a few more fun numbers surrounding this box office elephant. The most recent movie has grossed $1.65 billion worldwide alone, currently making it the 7th highest grossing movie of all time, and the original has grossed $968.5 million, so just under $1 billion. And the most recent version at $1.65 billion grossed has not even been out a year yet.
I want to know how Beyonce responds to that amount of money. Like, is she like, oh, just that much?
Yeah.
Or is she like, oh, that much?
They let her swim in it for a minute, and
Yeah.
then we're like, thank you, Beyonce.
Or is she swimming in her own billions?
She is. So moving on, the Broadway version, which will turn 22 on November 13th, has been seen by more than 100 million people around the world. In 2012, The Lion King surpassed The Phantom of the Opera as the highest-grossing Broadway show. It has been performed in 9 different languages and played in more than 100 cities in 20 countries on every continent except Antarctica.
I think it's going to be a hit.
I hear good things about it.
In an October 28th, 2019 article, The Hollywood Reporter exclusively announced that Bill Condon, the director of Disney's live-action remake of Beauty and the Beast, will be reuniting with Disney for a musical reimagining of A Christmas Carol.
What?
We need another Christmas Carol in this world.
There aren't enough. We've only got 302.
That's right. But this is how it differs, Patrick. Titled Marley, the feature film, written and directed by Condon, will reinvent the classic holiday story and tell it from Jacob Marley's perspective. For those that don't know, Jacob Marley is Ebenezer Scrooge's deceased business partner and the first spirit to visit Scrooge, followed by the ghost of Christmas past, the ghost of Christmas present, and the ghost of Christmas future.
That's a fact.
He was Goofy in Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Oh, gosh.
Gosh. This is where it gets really interesting, Patrick.
Okay.
3-time Oscar winner Stephen Schwartz has written the music for Marley. Schwartz has previously written songs and lyrics for Disney's Pocahontas and The Hunchback of Notre Dame, but is probably best known for Broadway's Wicked.
Yeah, very epic, very sweeping music. It's so... I'm so excited about this.
Condon won an Academy Award for writing Gods and Monsters and was nominated for an Oscar for adapting Chicago for the big screen. He directed Dreamgirls and also co-wrote The Greatest Showman.
Just some art house films.
That's right. I'm really excited for this.
Me too.
If you're going to do a Christmas Carol, you better put a spin on it, and this sounds like a spin.
Yeah.
If there's one thing we know Stephen Schwartz is excellent at, it's taking a different perspective on a classic story.
Yeah.
And I think it could be really touching to hear this from Jacob Marley's point of view because he's a very tragic character.
Yep.
And it'd be fun to see more of his history with Scrooge. So I'm imagining this will be kind of more of a prequel to A Christmas Carol rather than just A Christmas Carol, but who could say?
Who can say?
What if Scrooge and Marley are just like young and hot?
I hope so. Hey, I have an alternate title for this movie.
Yeah?
Jacob Marley and Me. Don't you think?
Get your Disney dogs in there.
Yas, Adam.
It's a small world, isn't it?
After all,
It is a small, small world. In fact, it's so small that when I moved into my apartment building in Minneapolis, I happened to notice that one of my neighbors named Kristen was wearing a jacket with Lumiere on the back.
Interesting.
I was intrigued.
I imagine you were.
And then I happened to run into her in the elevator, and she was taking her dog down to our bark park. And her dog's leash had Mickeys all over it.
Wait a minute.
And so naturally, I had to ask her, what's going on here? And I happened to find out that Kristen Podbelski, my next-door neighbor, is a former Walt Disney World cast member.
What?
And friend to such princesses as Snow White, Rapunzel,
My favorite.
and Belle.
Ugh, so cool.
So naturally, Kristen and I got to chatting.
Of course.
About her experiences working in Walt Disney World.
Yes.
And I said, Kristen, I have a podcast, and we would love to have you on to share your stories with us, because we know our Tweedle-Dees would love to hear all about her time working for the mouse.
That's right. And she said no to you. So I reached out to Kristen, and she was like, for you, Patrick, the world.
Yep. So she was nice enough to stop on by, and we had just a lovely conversation with her.
Yes, full disclosure, we've already had the interview, which you're about to hear. She could not have been more of a delight.
I've actually never had the experience of sitting across from someone who has been a friend with a princess in a Disney park. So it was so sweet to watch her talking about these princesses whom she clearly adores and has such a close connection to, and to see her light up and assume the physicality.
Yes.
And it was just wonderful to witness.
Yeah, you can absolutely tell why she was chosen to work in Walt Disney World.
Kristen is a Minnesota native, and her first experience with Walt Disney World was as part of the Disney College program, which you'll be hearing about in her interview.
That's right. And then she, of course, made the switch from the Disney College program to being a full-time cast member. She had quite the adventure.
She really did.
So before we go into the interview itself, we should recognize that we will be dancing around some of the magic, if you will. We did our best not to really get into some language that reveals too much magic. So we'll use phrases like you've already used, friends with, which parents and adults at home, you can maybe imagine what we mean when we say that. So we wanted to make sure we were respectful to all the little ones at home and to anyone in general who doesn't want the magic to be fully revealed, because that's not what we're about here on Gays Do the D.
And with that disclaimer, sit back, relax, and enjoy our interview with former Walt Disney World cast member Kristen Podbelski. Welcome to Gays Do the D, Kristen.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
We are very excited to have you here. We don't often have the chance to talk to cast members from Walt Disney World, so we are excited to learn everything that we possibly can about your experience working in the park.
Yeah, I'm excited you were wearing a Mickey sweatshirt in the elevator one day.
Uh-oh.
It's true. That's how we kind of...
And I called you out.
learned of each other's kind of Disney fandom and Disney's employment.
I love it.
Yeah. So before we kind of dive into the Walt Disney World aspect of it, can you please give us your background in Disney? Like, what was your childhood like, and how did that relate to Disney? And we call it your Disstory, which is basically your Disney history. So let us know, what was that like for you?
I love that term. Huge Disney fan growing up, watched all the movies. I was Snow White for Halloween when I was 5-ish, Pocahontas one year. And my family and I, we went to the parks almost every year for a good chunk of time.
Wow.
That was our family vacation. Shout out to my dad, who would be like, where do you guys want to go this year? My brother and I were like, Disney World.
It's always Disney, Dad. It's always Disney.
And he was like, again, huh? But yeah, so just kind of grew up with it and loved it. And I knew that I wanted to go to a college that supported the Disney College program, because I just thought it was the coolest, most fun, magical place on earth in so many ways.
Did you grow up here in Minnesota?
I did, yeah, in the burbs in Egan. So it was a nice little winter adventure for us down to Florida.
And were you, as a child, obsessed with the movies and the music as well?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Did you have a favorite that you'd watch on repeat?
I was very, very taken with Lion King. Very much so. My mom likes to remind me that when we would be in Target and I would see something about the Lion King after it came out, I would go, Lion King, Lion King.
Oh.
Because I also had a speech impediment.
You've overcome it.
Yes. Thank goodness.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Do you have a current favorite movie? We ask the tough questions here on Gays Do the D.
I've really been feeling Moana lately. Like when I'm having a hard day, I love to listen to the Ancestor song, when she goes, I am Moana.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's my jam. Yeah. So super into Moana lately is like kind of a more current one, but always go back to the classics. When people ask, what's your favorite Disney movie? I'm like, well, there's categories. You see.
It's true, right?
I can't pick one.
Yeah.
That's totally true. It depends on your mood. It depends on what happened to you during the day.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can't compare a Toy Story to like a Snow White. It's apples and oranges.
Right. Bambi versus the Lion King doesn't really work.
No.
Yeah.
You guys get it.
We sure do.
Well, you mentioned the Disney College program, so we need to talk about that experience.
Yes.
What made you want to apply to the Disney College program?
Gosh, I think it was one of my brother's kind of acquaintances / a family friend did it. And she went to the University of Minnesota and she was like, yeah, I like spent a semester in Disney World getting college credit and it was awesome. And now I work for Disney. And I thought, I want that. So looked at where the Disney College program would do their presentations. And then it was kind of a factor in where I chose my school. But I just thought, I've got the credits. I can kind of take a semester, quote unquote, off, more or less, get some fun experience, live at Disney World. I mean, come on. So I just kind of went for it and it was a blast and a half. I mean, met some of my very, very, very best friends who I'm still in contact with today. Got to experience kind of behind the magic, which was really cool to see for the first time. But it also helped me realize that it doesn't necessarily salt the magic. And I could do it without getting bitter about Disney World and the Disney company, which can happen to some people, to be frank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go into it knowing where you wanted to be placed, or were you sort of just like, let Mickey take the wheel?
No. I knew I had done my research and I knew there were some areas that I didn't want to be in. And I really wanted to be in merchandise. I was a marketing major and I thought that would kind of give me some good background and experience for the resume. Or
Pad the resume.
Yeah. At least that's what I told my dad.
Right, yeah.
And I did end up in merchandise, which was really fun. I worked in the Emporium on Main Street.
You did?
I did.
Iconic.
Big league. I know. I love that long skirt, man. I mean, people would always make fun of it and be like, God, I hate our costume. And I was like, I like it.
Yeah.
But, it was super fun. Worked crazy hours. I would text my mom, I'm working 5 to 8 today, but it was like, the opposite type of hours, like 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. Because it's just wild. But it was so fun. You get asked all the stereotypical questions. What time does the 3 o'clock parade start?
That's the one.
When are you going to put the dome up?
Wow.
The dome.
My personal favorite, it wasn't a question, but someone just said to me, if I ran Disney World, I just wouldn't let the birds in.
Oh, no.
I'm behind a cash register. I don't know.
What do you want from me?
Can't help you. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
So as part of the Disney College program, then, were you able to take classes? Were they offering kind of an educational experience behind the retail experience as well?
They do. I personally did not partake because I didn't need the credits for my major and where I was at in my credits at Virginia Tech. Go Hokies. But I know lots of people who did. They loved it. They had fun going to the class and kind of tying everything together for their college.
How long did you stay with the Disney College program?
I did the spring program, which was January to May, and then I extended through the summer, and I actually switched at that point from merchandise to entertainment. So from May to August, I did entertainment and spent a lot of time with Chip and Dale and Handy Manny. I don't think anyone remembers Handy Manny anymore. He was the Playhouse Disney. I don't even know if it's still called Playhouse Disney.
Like Disney Junior?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So Dora the Explorer meets Bob the Builder.
Got it.
Oh, the kids went wild for him, man.
Yeah.
Can tell you that.
So would you technically say that you were friends with Chip and Dale and friends with Handy Manny?
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
Very, very good friend.
So it's your first summer living down there in Florida, and you're friends with these characters. Was it intense to be close friends with those characters in that heat?
Yes. Thankfully, I had kind of the lead up being there in the spring, but nothing can prepare you for it. Even
Sure.
just as a normal human being, just you're constantly sweaty. Just constantly. And that's fine.
What's a typical shift that you're friends with a Chip or a Dale? How long can you be friends with them at a time?
In the summer, depends on if you're outside or inside, but outside you're limited to 20 minutes and then you get 40 minutes off. But
Wow.
that 20 minutes, you come back and as a friend, you are drenched in sweat.
Lost some weight, I'm assuming.
Not as much as I kind of
really?
hoped her, but also, you're living in close proximity to the Disney parks. So you're like, hey, after this, let's go to Epcot and let's get ice cream.
Yeah.
So that's how you even it out. You have to put on one of those. Okay, got it.
It's about balance.
So let's move on to being employed then through Walt Disney
Yeah,
World. How
full-time.
did that transition take place? So you finished with the college program, and then what happened?
So at that time, when I finished my college program, they had a different kind of rule for being a seasonal cast member, at least in entertainment. I'm not sure if it applied to other areas as well, but the rule was you could remain seasonal if you worked one shift a year. And so I was like, oh yeah, like check me out, 80 years old in the parks with my family. I'll be like, grandma will be right back, type of thing. I did that for a year, went down to Florida for a weekend in January, hung out, used my discount, worked a shift. It was like 4 hours long and then, called it a day and kept going. And then the year after I graduated college, I called down to give my availability for seasonal. They're like, oh, we're changing the rules. It's not going to be one shift. It's going to be 150 hours.
Oh,
year.
wow.
And I was like, so that's a little trickier.
Sure. Yeah.
So I was like, I guess I'll just kind of have to let it run its course. My family planned one big last hurrah. I'm sure my dad was like, are you kidding me? After it wasn't the last hurrah. Went down, used the discount one last time, I was like, all right, in a month, I'm not going to be a Disney cast member anymore.
Aw.
And I really hated my job that I was in after college. I was living in North Carolina. It's nothing to do with that state if you're listening from there. But a friend texted me and was like, hey, they're doing traveling auditions. They're looking for these characters. And I was like, technically still employed there. And they were going to be in Chicago a weekend. I was going to be visiting my brother. So I thought, what the heck? I'll go. And so I did. And I was kind of nervous to mark that I still worked there. And I actually recognized a girl at the audition from my college program who was also seasonal. She had been a friend of some of the fairies when she was a college program member, and the casting people recognized her. And I was like, oh, if they know she's seasonal, then I can admit I'm seasonal too.
Right.
So went through the audition and said that I was seasonal. And then a week and a half later, got the call.
Wow.
So I quit my job and moved back down to Orlando.
So after you get that call, then do they say, we want you to be friends with this character and this character and this character?
Part of the audition process is, and you can look this up on DisneyAuditions.com, I think. And sometimes it's kind of a blanket audition and sometimes it's more sourcing for a particular look or character. And the one I went to was they were in need of Tinkerbell and Ariel. I knew that they would probably be looking for people outside what they were looking for as well, just knowing Disney and knowing Disney Entertainment and having friends in Disney Entertainment. So I just kind of crossed my fingers. And then sure enough, I was optioned to be friends with Belle and Rapunzel in that audition. And then when I got the call, they kind of went through, we looked at you in this for being friends with these characters. And then we also decided that we would like you to be friends with Snow White, which was literally my dream.
The OG Snow White.
I know. So
Even the way you just said that, I know.
I'm wishing. So yeah, it was a very surreal call, and I had to kind of duck away from my desk because I was in a corporate job, and I scuttled away, and and they were telling me this, and I remember I just kept saying, "Really." I was like, "Yeah, really."
That's amazing. So I imagine when you're such close friends with someone like Snow White, there's a lot of homework involved to get to know that character. What was that like for you?
What I love about entertainment is that they are so thorough. There's a whole division devoted to this, to what does the autograph look like? How does this character stand? How do they interact with? Do they say hi or hello?
Wow.
To that level of detail. So what would Snow White say to someone that no one else could? Anyone could say, hello, how was your day?
Right.
Are you having a fun time? What could Snow White say that you wouldn't hear from anyone else? So something about her 7 little friends, something about forest friends, something about singing
Apples.
a song with her prince. No, we don't talk about apples.
Oh, Adam, how very dare you.
Kristen just got so serious. Everybody. She got so serious.
Well, we do talk a wishing apple.
Oh, sure. Okay.
A wishing apple. Don't know nothing about a poison apple.
Yeah.
Nope. Wishing apple. Took a bite out of the wishing apple. Got her wish. Wow, it worked.
I like it. Gooseberry pie, maybe?
Yes, gooseberry pie always.
Perfect.
Little red bows. Yeah.
And then I'm assuming the physicality goes along with that too.
Yes. Much like every human being, every princess moves a different way. So that's also part of what you learn when becoming a friend. So Snow White, for instance, is kind of dramatic. Her elbows are out. She kind of does everything more dramatic than you need to be. And she's very intentional and graceful with her movements.
Tweedle-Dee's at home. You can't see her right now, but she is embodying Snow White realness right now. And it's amazing. She was really good friends with her.
Whereas Rapunzel, it's the level of her hair is so heavy. She kind of stands her feet wide apart, her feet turned in to keep her balance. She's graceful, but like a little bit goofy and, silly and earnest. Belle is very demure and ladylike. You wouldn't do like a big dramatic wave or something like that. Rapunzel maybe would. A lot of it is just watching the movie with an absolute eagle eye. Belle, I remember learning to be friends with her. We were watching the movie. She wasn't even on the screen yet. And it was bonjour, bonjour. And the movie got paused and someone said, so what do you think the baker's relationship is to Belle? Like, how does she relate to him?
Wow.
But yeah, then you can talk about that. Oh, I was with the baker and...
Sure. Well, it was such a treat, as Patrick just mentioned, just sitting here watching you talk about your 3 friends and kind of work your way through them. And just to see that embodiment of friendship is so nice. It's such a treat.
It's within me. I can't take a picture like a normal person. It's fun. I never know what to do with my hands.
It's fascinating to think about because Snow White and Rapunzel, very specifically, are very different characters on the opposite ends of the spectrum of princesses.
Yeah.
Was that tough for you, or were there moments where you're like, okay, where am I right now?
It could be tough. Sometimes your day would be split where you would be spending time with a couple different friends.
Wow.
So you kind of had to get over an identity crisis. But once you're kind of there, you're able to get in the mode. I mean, it's muscle memory.
Sure.
So you kind of had to fight it for a second, but it's like being in the background of a movie almost, I would say. So when you're being friends with them, you can't turn off the physicality. So even when you're not necessarily with someone, it's on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you're in Walt Disney World. You're surrounded by all of these families.
Yes.
Tons of children everywhere. And they can be having the most amazing day, or there could be some issues. Some kids are having some meltdowns. What was it like to be surrounded by that energy all the time? When you got home, were you just exhausted from absorbing all that energy?
Yeah. And even when you weren't out kind of on stage, we call it, everyone's just kind of zoning out on a couch, just chilling. Just kind of mentally, and I'm an introvert by nature. So yeah, it's exhausting, but it's fun. I mean, it's rewarding, and it's like any job. There's good days and bad days and good parts and bad parts. And sometimes you have the cutest little kids in the world. And then sometimes a kid sneezes in your mouth, so what can you do?
Oh no. That's like a Tuesday for me though. It just happens.
Yeah.
You can't Purell that, you just kind of hope your immune system's got it.
Along those lines, I imagine hundreds, if not thousands, of guests are meeting these princesses and characters every day. If you could describe a perfect interaction with a guest, what would that look like?
I have a couple really nice memories, but I would say in general, someone who opens it up to a conversation and maybe asks a question first instead of the character having to lead with something to bring you into their world, because that can get exhausting. It can be like talking to a wall for a long time, but you have to keep smiling. And so when it's a conversation and they're willing to come into your world with you, oh my gosh, it's so fun. And also just little snuggly kids.
Aww.
Who just talk back to you and believe.
Right.
And you see it in their eyes. Oh, there is nothing like it. It's just the sweetest little...
I can't stop smiling right now. That's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
It's very reassuring to hear too, because I'm always a little nervous meeting a face character. And so, for instance, if I was to meet one of your friends like Rapunzel or Snow White, I'd always be a little bit nervous. And my instinct is to naturally like launch into something from a movie to kind of alleviate nervousness, possibly from the princess, and to let her know that like, I'm with you, I'm here with you, we're going to have fun with this moment together.
You're not going to be weird.
Yeah. So that's really good to hear that the princesses want that kind of interaction.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm with Rapunzel and someone comes up to me and says, Rapunzel, where's Pascal today? I'm like, this is awesome.
Right.
Thank you.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Instead of just coming up and staring blankly. That's always like, cool, this is fun. Guess I'll talk.
And when you were with Rapunzel and Snow White and Belle, were those time periods that you were with them the same as when you were with Chip and Dale?
No, it's much longer just because of the physical nature and burdens. Yeah, so you could be over an hour. I would literally do like face exercises and warm up my smile. Your jaw would get tired.
I bet. Yeah. You have to constantly be smiling.
Yeah. First world problems.
Yeah, right.
Princess problems, man.
So while you were friends with these characters, where would someone have found them in the parks? We're doing some question gymnastics here on the pod. And
Really are. It's a bit different now. Entertainment is always subject to change. But Princess Fairy Tale Hall is where I spent a lot of time with Rapunzel and then Snow White for a brief amount of time. But Snow White is also found in Town Square in Main Street, USA, which is really fun. Belle, usually at Enchanted Tales with Belle in Fantasyland, which is a wonderful experience.
You were friends in Enchanted Tales with Belle?
Yeah.
I recently saw that for the first time on my last trip there, and it was one of my favorite things I did that day.
Isn't it the sweetest little thing?
It's beautiful.
Take me back to the day.
Oh my
we
gosh.
fell in love.
Have you done that, Adam?
I have not done that.
You have
should do
to.
it.
I know.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
You go through Maurice's cottage and then you travel back in time. You go to the castle and then you're in the library and it's right before Bella's going to meet Beast for their dinner. You know,
their
she's in her-
date.
Lumiere has planned a surprise. So
Seeing Lumiere was breathtaking. It's the coolest.
It's so
It's
cool.
it's amazing.
I cried
Yeah.
the first time I saw him. I was like, he's real. He's
100%. Yeah.
And what about parades? Were you able to hang out with Belle or Rapunzel or Snow White in parades too?
Yeah. So very, very, very honored and hashtag blessed. When I started, it was still Celebrated Dream Come True Parade, CDCT. And at that time, the roles for the princesses were untrained. So as long as you had kind of an orientation into parades in general, the safety and all of that, you could do any of those roles. So I had gotten to be with them, with Snow White and Belle a handful of times in that. But then when it got word that we were going to get a new parade and it was going to be so cool and it was going to be like Tokyo's parade. It was so awesome. And no one really knew who was going to get it. So that's also kind of the mystery of entertainment is you don't get to audition for anything. But I remember I was back here in Minneapolis when the call started going out for Festival of Fantasy for the opening cast. And that's how they did a lot of things is it was a call, either automated or a personal call if it was a smaller cast. And I was in Stillwater with my parents and people kept texting me being like, I got a call. Did you get a call? And I was like, I haven't gotten a call.
Oh, man.
And then I remember I was literally going to the bathroom and my phone rang and it was a 407 number and I was scrambling.
Oh, no.
I was like, I can't miss this call. And got the call and it was just kind of a generic one. So I was friends with Snow White for Festival of Fantasy, FOF opening cast. And then the next training, I got to learn to be friends with Rapunzel during it, it was so fun and so magical.
Oh, man.
Like a true honor. I was living at any time I got to take part in the 3:00 Festival of Fantasy. Just magic. Just fun.
Now, what time is that? 3:00? parade again.
The 3 o'clock parade is at 3 o'clock.
Oh,
Great.
She still got it. She
Great.
still got it.
It will be where you're sitting. 3 o'clock.
Perfect.
You're welcome.
So Rapunzel gets to ride on that like swinging pendulum, right?
She's not swinging.
Oh, she's just off of it.
Flynn and
That's
the
right.
ruffians are swinging, which is fun, but she's at the helm of kind of this ship.
Sure.
With her braid flowing all through the ship.
That's
And
right.
She's got her frying pan to ward off any ruffians or thugs that she comes across.
It's one of my favorite parts of the parade.
Me too.
That's a beautiful. Yeah, that float is incredible.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
When you were with Rapunzel, would she have legitimate interactions with people in the crowd? Like whenever I'm at a parade and I see the princesses up on the float, you know, I'm waving at them and I'm like, I think I'm being waved at directly, but I can't tell.
Yeah.
Does that genuinely happen?
Yes. And I mean, especially, so her part is very much storytelling. So there's parts where she's scared. She just realized there's ruffians and thugs on the back of that ship. She should be nervous and get out her frying pan. So then she won't. But there's parts where you can have genuine interactions and wave and talk almost. And also Snow White when she's on the ground and able to kind of go meet and greet walking. So they see you.
Yay.
I love knowing that.
I feel seen.
Yeah, I do.
You are seen.
So when you're with a princess or any character really, and you're in an awkward situation or an uncomfortable situation, is there someone there to help you and the princess get out of that situation?
So we have our wonderful, underappreciated character attendants, usually wearing a blue shirt or blueberries. So they are there to kind of do it all, but sometimes they can't catch everything. If you're with a character such as Chip and Dale or someone whose vision might be limited, there's a physical sign, a distress signal you can give. It's very awkward and kind of noticeable. So that's the like, I need help. I'm not feeling well. Something's wrong with my costume or my body. When you're friends with a face character, you have your voice. There is no kind of blanket rule. It's more within your character. Seek help as discreetly as possible, whether that's your petticoat has come unclipped and you kind of stay in character and sidle up to the person's ear, or hope that the person's listening, or talk loudly, or worst case scenario, you just peace out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So along those lines, we talked about what you would imagine a really good interaction with a guest might be for a character. Are there any examples of maybe what not to do as a guest when approaching a character who talks back to you?
Do not ask how they got that job.
Oh, yeah.
You will not get the answer you want. Job? Oh, I was born a princess.
Patrick actually says that daily.
I do. Yeah, I wake up saying that.
We're born a princess.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, just no references to the job. No, she's all right. Like, doesn't really look like her.
Oh.
Or even in the same vein, like, that's a good one. You're like, thanks, but also no.
Right.
No weird stuff.
Right. That's a very eloquent way that you just put that.
I think we all know what you mean by that.
And you get it, but just don't be weird. And honestly, just say anything back. That's appropriate.
Right.
Just even a hello or how are you? Because then the character performer can launch into something along their storyline, but just not a blank stare.
Right.
Is fun.
Right. I think just be a sensible human being is the advice that.
Well, I imagine your
Basic
experience will be more magical if you do interact with the character.
Right.
We were just at the Halloween party in Disneyland, and there were these live characters in the treat trails.
Yes.
And oftentimes we were noticing that people would just sort of stare at them and take pictures, and they were like, you can talk to me. It's fine to talk to me.
People are like, no.
Yeah. And then when someone did, you got a whole show then to watch.
Yeah.
It was fabulous. Yeah.
Talk back within reason.
Yeah.
Like you said, of a normal human being.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Decent human being.
Right.
They might be on short supply these days. We don't know. But
Well,
there's a few good ones out there still.
Don't shove the autograph book in the face. That's always.
yeah.
You're like, well, hey.
Yeah. So you're no longer in Walt Disney World. You're here with us.
I am. I'm here in Minneapolis.
What led to that decision to leave Walt Disney World?
So I had originally gone down there thinking, okay, I didn't like my job. I'll go somewhere I'm happy while I kind of try to figure things out. I'll be down there 6 months to a year, whatever. 2.5 years later, I knew obviously being friends with a princess has a shelf life, and I never wanted to reach the point where I was told I couldn't be friends anymore. For lack of a better term, and I hate saying this because I feel like it makes me seem snooty, but I kind of wanted to go out on top, feeling like I did everything I wanted to do. I had no bitter feelings. I could look back on it with just happy memories for the most part, and feeling like I did it all. I never started to feel regret or felt like I was regressing. I've been kind of looking here in Minneapolis for jobs kind of more pertaining to my major and all that to kind of jump back into the real world per se. And an opportunity presented itself very quickly. And I was going to be a pair for my sister-in-law's bridal shower and interviewed. And my future boss was like, all right, start packing. I was like, huh.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
But I think it was kind of best because when you're in it and you're having the time of your life and you're doing the shows you always wanted to do and you have such great friends and you're kind of feeling so great, you wouldn't ever want to stop unless you were forced to. So for me, it was the perfect timing in that sense that I kind of got to control my narrative and leave how and when I wanted to and come home too, which was nice.
Do you miss it?
Oh yeah. Every day.
Yeah.
I want to cry. I imagine it's hard to say goodbye to these princesses that you've come to love so much.
Yeah, they're a part of you. And there were tears, lots of tears. And also just really great friends. I mean, you're working 6 days a week, up to 70 hours a week. So really the people you work with are your family. They're kind of the only ones who understand what you're going through and the lifestyle and the weird inside jokes and things like that. So you're saying goodbye to that too and kind of going to a place where people don't necessarily understand. So that was sad too. So you're kind of mourning the loss of a whole different lifestyle as well.
When you visit Walt Disney World now, do you still have friends there?
I do. Not as many, but it is fun to watch the parade. I have a lot of friends
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just always good to see people, and I usually cry and get really shaky when I see them.
Do you go back and visit with Snow White and Rapunzel and Belle?
I haven't with those characters
Yeah.
outside of parades and shows. I don't think I could.
Yeah.
I think also I'd be really judgy.
That's a fair statement, though, because I think when you're friends for so long and so intimately with those characters, I think that there's a great deal of ownership that must come into play.
Yeah.
And so it would be odd to see someone else being friends with those characters.
Yeah, I would be so scared of a bad interaction.
Sure.
I'd be like, you don't deserve.
Yeah, you want to protect the memories that you had with them.
Exactly. Yeah. And I always tried to live all of my shifts where I was meeting with guests with the mindset of this might be this person's sole only memory of this character. So let me try to make it as magical as possible. I'm tired. I'm working a double, whatever. But like, this is going to be their impression and memory of fill in the blank. So I'm going to try to own up to it and like do what that character is worth and try to live up to what that person wants and what that character deserves.
I love that because I imagine you don't think about that often when Snow White, of course, meets thousands of people a day, but each individual person, that's their one time to meet Snow White, right? And I imagine that's a really magical experience for them that we don't often think about the individual moments.
Yeah, I hope they never felt like Snow White, Belle, Rapunzel mailed it in.
I'm sure they didn't.
Not while you were in Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
So what about your experiences beyond Walt Disney World? We know you're heading to Disneyland.
I am.
Next week, right?
Week. Yeah, a week from tomorrow. I'll be flying out there.
Wow.
So excited.
And when did you start visiting Disneyland? Because you visited Walt Disney World as a child, right? And so when did Disneyland start?
My first trip to Disneyland was when I was full-time at Disney World because our discount applied there as well.
Sure.
So I actually went with my parents one random weekend. And it was so fun. I had never been. Disneyland is so sweet. That's the best word I can use to describe it. And it's fun to see the history and kind of the beginnings of everything. So that was super fun. And then my brother is probably a bigger Disney fan than me. And so after that, a year later, I was no longer employed there, but we were like, let's do a family trip, like all of us. So we went, the 5 of us, during Halloween time. It was super fun. And then I went with a couple girlfriends last September. And then this year is because my mom has a conference in Anaheim. And then she was like, oh, I'm going to stay an extra day and go to Disneyland. And I was like, I'm going to come.
Yes.
And then now my dad's coming. Now my boyfriend's coming. So it's a whole thing now.
Have you been to the international parks?
I've been to the Tokyo parks.
Kristen.
Wow.
That's my dream.
Wish you could see their faces. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So one of my best friends that I was cast with at Dream Along with Mickey was doing a Tokyo contract there. So I went and visited her and we did Tokyo stuff, but also we did Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea. It's incredible. The Japanese guests are so respectful and passionate. The park looks like it was open yesterday. It's immaculate. And then Tokyo Disney Sea is the coolest, most unique park I've ever been to. Just insane. And the level of professionalism from every cast member, from custodial to the character performers and the dancers, it's mind blowing.
I got to get out there.
Yeah. If you're able to go, go.
So I have a very serious question for you.
Yes.
It's Halloween. Knowing that you've been friends with these wonderful princesses for so long, are you ever tempted to give one of them a call on Halloween and just hang
No.
out?
No.
You're done with it?
I had such sweet goodbyes to them.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Can you make me friends with one of them for one night?
Absolutely.
Great.
Don't give him that power. Don't. Yeah.
It's too late.
I will not wield it wisely, I promise you.
Well, Kristen, before we wrap things up, we have a question that we kind of like to ask all of our guests when we talk to them. And that is, what do you think it is that makes visiting a Disney park or just Disney in general so special for adults?
Ooh, I love that because I'm a big advocate of adults at Disney. I think it's just that it's an escape. You get to be a kid again in whatever sense that means to you. Escape reality, live in a land of happiness, forget about everything else, ignore your emails, ignore the news. Just go have fun. Just have a totally immersive, magical experience. And I think it's almost more valuable when you're an adult rather than a kid to have that escapism.
Well said. I love that.
Oh, thank you.
Well, Kristen, we're not done with you yet. You're going to be sticking around for one quick segment.
Excellent.
But we just want to thank you so much for sharing your experiences in Walt Disney World with us.
Oh, I have a million more questions, but maybe another time. Another time. Will you call Rapunzel and tell her I said hello?
I will.
Thank you so much. Oh, my dreams just came true. Hey, Adam.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, Kristen.
Hey, boys.
Oh,
Ooh.
I love it.
It's so fun having more than just Adam in the room. I'll tell you what.
I'm just down the hall.
Fair enough. Noted.
You have a new podcast co-host, Patrick.
Hooray!
No.
Rude.
I don't want to kick anyone out.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
He does.
So, Adam,
Yes.
Kristen, it's everyone's favorite time. Time for some quick D.
I'm very excited. Kristen has graciously agreed to join us for this. She has no idea what she's getting into.
Absolutely none.
So for those at home and for you, Kristen, Quick D is where we ask each other a question sort of off the cuff and we just answer all willy-nilly.
Oh, wow. I'm very indecisive. This is going to be hard.
Spill your soul. Just
Okay.
spill
Spill your soul. We have different categories of Quick D, and today's category is Quick D Thunderdome. We will present you with two options. Both enter the Thunderdome. Only one can prevail.
Have you ever seen Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, Kristen?
I have not.
Okay. All right. Let me explain Thunderdome to you and to those listeners who have not seen it as well. It's a giant kind of wooden wicker cage.
Sounds fun.
Okay, yeah. And it's in a post-apocalyptic world and things are real bad. Mm-hmm. And two people enter the cage and they fight to the death, basically. Okay?
Oh, no.
It's not a great situation, but paired with Disney, it becomes the most magical thing ever.
And now watch your head. Here comes the cage. We're actually, we thought we'd make it authentic here.
So what we're basically doing is pitching you two different Disney ideas or concepts, and you have to decide which one's going to leave the cage or survive the fight.
Oh, okay.
So basically what I said before with different words.
Right. That's
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Adam. Thanks for that.
All right, I'm going to start.
Uh-oh.
Because you were just so rude to me, Patrick.
It happens.
In front of company. How dare you?
Company's here.
Yeah. All right. We'll start with Kristen. Kristen, walking into the Thunderdome, is Julie Andrews as Mary Poppins and Julie Andrews in The Princess Diaries.
Oh.
Mary Poppins.
Oh.
So quick.
That was so fast. Now, why would you choose Mary Poppins?
It's just a classic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
In real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Patrick?
Oh, Mary Poppins all the way.
Okay.
You don't know what's in that carpet bag.
You're right.
Could be anything.
I mean, she's allowed to bring it in. So,
It's true.
Yeah, there could be like a battle axe in there or like a scythe.
Yeah, in my Thunderdome, you only get one item, and she brings her carpet bag.
It's allowed.
Tricks on you.
Yeah.
It's full of weapons.
Yeah.
And gas.
I was thinking maybe like more picture of her with Walt for nostalgia's sake.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's a friends with Rapunzel kind of an answer.
It is.
It's not allowed here.
It is.
Okay,
But
sorry.
she could take that picture with Walt and just kind of smash it over someone's head.
Yeah, and
you
then
know,
take
and
a shard of that glass
Also true.
Yeah.
and cut herself, I guess, because she's fighting herself.
Wow,
This got weird.
Mary Poppins
got
got real dark real
got
fast.
wild.
Yeah, she got real dark real fast.
Are you also choosing Mary Poppins, I
Of course,
assume?
of course I'm choosing Mary Poppins. I mean,
Okay.
classic, fabulous. Julie
Yeah.
Andrews as Mary Poppins. She won an Academy Award for
Right.
Mary Poppins.
And otherwise, Anne Hathaway might show up with the other one, and no one wants that.
Raven Simone comes in on a mattress.
Amazing. I do kind of want that, actually,
Yeah.
now that you say that. Wait a
I know.
minute.
I want to see it
too
happen.
late?
I've got a different answer.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Patrick, who are you throwing into the Thunderdome? Or what?
Oh, my. I'm going with Disney dogs today.
Okay, great.
Adam, I'm going with Nana from Peter Pan versus Pongo from 101 Dalmatians.
Oh, wow.
Who gonna win?
Kristen.
Is this like an actually win thing or just which one I want?
It's a full dogfight, Kristen. It's a full-on
Literal.
I think
illegal dogfight.
the rules are there are no rules.
It's exactly
That's
correct.
exactly right.
It's Fight Club with dogs.
I'm going to go with Nana because I love her because she's so wholesome and also like maternal instinct. She was ready to fly.
Yeah.
Dog didn't even know what was going on. She just got some pixie dust on her bum. But
That's
like,
right.
I've had that before as well.
That
You know what I'm saying? What?
I think the maternal instinct is going to take over. And Pongo, he's a little cocky. He's
Yeah.
going to be overconfident. He's not going to know what hit him.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a well thought out answer. We don't
very
do that
reasonable.
very often here on Gays Do the D.
No, in fact, I was going to choose Pongo, but
Sexist.
no. Kristen full on convinced me that it needs to be Nana.
It's got to be Nana.
Yeah.
Time's up, fellas. Nana's going to win.
It's true, though.
Exactly.
It's true. I think she's got, I mean, we don't know what Nana's upbringing was like. I think she had a hard life on the streets before the Darlings took her in
Yeah.
and gave her a home. But she was trained on the streets and she fights like a street dog.
She's not even allowed to come inside.
Yeah,
She's
she
learned
lives
some
outside.
things.
Pongo's got a cushy lifestyle.
You're right.
You're right.
He's not ready for the Thunderdome.
And an overactive libido.
I mean, 101. Calm it down, sir.
One
He's
track
distracted.
mind over there.
Yeah. Nana, for sure. What about you, Patrick?
100% Nana. She could just sit on him. Let's
Yeah.
just say it. Nana's a big girl.
She's got the size.
She knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
She's also got that bonnet. You don't know what's under there.
It's true.
I'm all about weapons today. Nana clearly has a knife under that bonnet.
Are you okay?
I need help.
All right, Kristen. Seeing as you were friends with Rapunzel and Snow White, I have to put into the Thunderdome Prince Charming and Flynn Rider. Ooh. Who's going to walk out of that Thunderdome?
Okay, I think I need to give you a little correction.
Oh.
Prince Charming is Cinderella's prince.
Oh.
You got schooled, Adam.
What was
No,
Snow White?
it's a common misconception. Snow White's prince is the prince.
The Prince.
The prince.
I got schooled as well because I did not know that differentiation.
So the ABC TV series Once Upon a Time
Yeah.
confuddled many people because it was Prince Charming.
Oh, yeah.
But Prince Charming is officially Cinderella's prince. It's misleading because Snow White does say anyone could see that the prince was charming. And also, they don't ever call him by name because he is the prince, because he is the only prince in the kingdom, and he's the only prince for her.
Kristen, I thought the learning was going to stop after your interview, and now here I am learning.
Well, now that I think about it, the carousel is called Prince Charming's Carousel outside of Cinderella's castle.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
My mind just exploded right now. Thank you so much.
No, it's just a common thing. Everyone gets it wrong. So he's the prince, or casual term, snow prince.
Well, Adam and I are very common, and now we're less than that, I feel like. We're basic. We're basic Disney.
At least you didn't get Snow White and Sleeping Beauty confused. They both do sleep.
They do.
So that's fair also.
The only princesses that sleep. Let it be known.
This has been the most educational Quick D that's ever happened.
It has. So, the prince, and...
Not Prince. Not from Minneapolis, Prince.
I kind of want to see it, but since we're sticking with Disney.
Got it.
The prince and Flynn Rider / Eugene enter the Thunderdome. Who's going to walk out of the Thunderdome?
Eugene Fitzherbert for sure.
The full name.
He's crafty.
Yeah.
He's smart.
Yeah.
I love the prince, but he is very soft. He's got one song. He's got
right.
one scene.
You're right.
I don't even think he has a sword on his person.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, Flynn was able to fight a horse with a frying pan. He's been evading the law for years. I mean, he's reformed now, but I still think he could probably nicely take the prince, probably just like knock him out for a little bit and then head on out.
That makes sense.
I like it.
Patrick, who are you going with?
I'm clearly going with Flynn Rider. Here's my theory, though. Not so much as fighting, but Flynn's ready to die for you, whereas the prince is ready to kiss a dead person.
Also fair.
That's kind of gross. That's kind of gross, sir.
I mean, it was in the noblest of reasons. I mean, you know, he
had heard the legend.
Right.
Of kissing a corpse? That's a weird legend, sir.
I love that we're trying to justify it. I will find a justification to make it right, Patrick.
It's Halloween. I'm going with kissing a corpse. It's freaky. I don't like it. Not into it.
Well, I'm going to choose the prince, and I'll tell you why.
Because of the corpse?
No, I think he has a strong background in dance, and I think he could high kick.
Yeah.
A high kick right to the face.
Okay.
And then
Pas de bourrée his way right out of there.
Pas de bourrée his way right into my heart. That prince.
Can I get that sewn on a pillow?
You can.
At some point? It'd be great.
Absolutely.
I'm going to make it for you. Thank you. Figure it out.
That will do it for this episode of Gays Do the D. Thanks for listening. To become a patron of the podcast, visit our website at gaysdothed.com/donate. For a donation of any amount, you can receive exclusive Gays Do the D content and help us continue to bring you the very best Disney news and discussion. Continue the conversation after this episode on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at GDTD Podcast, and submit your questions or show ideas to info@gaysdothed.com. Have a great week, everybody. See you real soon.